canoes from Montreal, Canada, down the various rivers across the Great Lakes to a place called Grand Portage. We were using about 40-foot canoes, 6 paddlers, a guy in the front that would watch for logs and rocks and so forth down the rivers, and a guy in the back, which was called the Goubernay. He was basically the captain of that particular boat. But I did that for 10 years. It was a trip that from Montreal to Grand Portage took 3 months, one way, paddling 7 days a week, sun up to sundown. We were hauling trade goods in, and trade goods back in the day could have been cloth, gunpowder, guns, whiskey, wine, whatever we could trade to the Native Americans or the trappers up there for their animal skins. We would leave Montreal around August, late August, September, October, November. By the time you get to Grand Portage, it was starting of winter. Too late to go back to Montreal yet that year, so 10 winters I wintered over with the Native Americans and trappers up there, and they taught me the skills when it came to become a trapper. The last trip home, I met that young German girl on the other end of the lodge here, and we decided to get married. She said she could teach me to farm. I could teach her the trade of hunting and trapping. Her dad wasn't too enthused about me marrying her because, for number one, I was illiterate. I couldn't speak German. I couldn't even write my own name. But my wife said she could teach me to read and write because her parents had taught her that. She could teach me a little bit of farming, and I could teach her all about hunting and trapping, and between hunting and trapping and farming, we'd have a pretty good life. All the animals you see hanging up here are indigenous to this area right here where we're standing. Every one of them could have been shot or trapped right here in my time frame of 1815. They're basically hanging here. From here over to this point, I considered some kind of harm or danger animal. And from this point over, I considered bonus animals. Not only were the hides relatively valuable, they're also very good to eat. The poor bear on this end really gets a bad rap because he really wasn't harm or danger, really. Bears, by their very nature, are very nosy. They like to know what's going on in their area, and we were living in his area, his territory. So about once a week he'd come up and sniff around the cabin, he'd see what we're doing, and then he would disappear for a while. Well, one morning when I was going to go out to milk the cow, I opened the front door up, and here this guy is snuggled up against the side of our cabin, right opposite where the fireplace was, taking a nap. So I just got my rifle out, shot him laying right there. We figured he weighed about 400 pounds. Wow. That's going to give me 200 pounds of bear meat. What do you think I did to preserve that meat so we could eat it throughout the course of the next several months? Any guesses?
Salted it?
We could have salted it, but salt was very expensive, and we had very little. We rationed it.
Pack it in the ground with
It would